Welcome to another episode of the Happy Hour Show. Happy Aloha Friday. Hey. I am Mikey Slacks. Along with me are
Mr. Overtime.
Radix.
This one is a good special one. The first woman to grace our stage here at the Happy Hour. And good friend of mine. And I've just been on such the high of kind of like just being in the shadows and watching her ascend in the Bay Area game. I know a lot of y'all out there that's looking at this right now already know my girl, but welcome to the show, Domo Jones.
Thank you.
Hey.
I appreciate y'all having me. I'm excited.
I thought that just the way we've been getting lucky for everything falling into place, you were like our ideal first woman candidate.
Definitely.
We definitely got to bring this one.
I love it. You know, got to do it for the ladies.
Please.
And when they mentioned that to me, I was like, damn, like who could I think? And I instantly like hit you, and I knew like a lot of shit was going on there, and you said you was gonna double back, which I'm glad you did, and then you know, kind of some stuff you had going on last week, but we here now.
We here.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that, you know, you being someone that really pushes that movement for women empowerment, especially women of color. You know what I mean? I'm just glad that you can finally bless us, get a taste of these Ritas, and I think
I know he was talking about those.
We all cheers to that. You know what I'm saying?
Salud, salud.
You know what I mean?
Thank you, love.
Hope you like them. How you like them so far? I know you're a tequila girl, so I was like, she gonna love them.
I'm really rocking with it. That was my first. How y'all say it? Tahine?
Tahine. She was like, "What's that?"
Yeah. First time with but I'm rocking with it. Let's do it.
Right on.
Let's start from the beginning. Like,
let's go back.
We in the Bay, but you know, you're for surely from the Bay now. For sure. The years you've been putting on, you officially Bay certified. But your roots don't start here.
No.
Where do they start? Because I know they, you know, some may think because of college days, you know, it's here. But where's Mrs. Lil Domo pop out on the scene first?
Well, her pop out. Where did I grace the world? It's like no. I would say my real breakout happened for me personally was in college. So I say Carolina. Like I've lived in so many different places: New York, Atlanta, DC, Virginia. But when it comes to like when I kind of broke out into the personality you see today, I say it was from birth. My grandma would tell you it was from birth. Yeah. She used to say all the time, like, yo, you talk so much, you're gonna have a talk show. Like she was convinced.
And look,
talking it from the stages.
Convinced. And then my actual journey and started in North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Central University?
I went to NC Central. Yeah.
Okay, for sure.
Actually, I got my start in high school. We had this television and broadcasting class.
Production.
Is that when you first got you got the bite?
You got the
a little bit. I didn't know exactly then. I just knew that I was a fierce leader. And I knew I liked to talk.
Right.
And I knew that if I did say something, I meant what I said. And, you know, I felt like it was something that needed to be said.
Right.
Facts.
As a big Sagittarius, you learn that sometimes everything ain't supposed to be said. Right. Or at least not right then. But I don't know. I just had to shoot for it. And then once I got my voice in college, someone gave me a microphone. They were like, hey, I want you to host this. And I'm like, I don't know how to do this. And they were like, just talk. And I just kept talking. They were like, you sound really good.
Okay. There you go.
And I'm like, okay, well, here we go.
Ain't nothing to it but to do it, right?
For real.
I mean, literally, after a while, you start to figure that out. It's like, if you're going to do something, just do it.
Exactly.
Like, you don't really, how they say, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Right.
So.
I wasn't supposed to be a part of this show.
Here you are.
Pushing it through. I like the fact that you said you started there because, you know, that's like the roots of where you start in foundation. Like getting that bug into doing, you know, radio, TV, and then doing celebrity interviews. Like how that come full circle?
Real quick though, let's get back to the college. I think, is that when you got that whole little Kendrick Lamar event put together?
So
you kind of,
I was right, but I came with facts.
I mean, he
like,
didn't
what got you?
He didn't know.
He was outside in the car.
He was in the know.
I'm gonna make him wait just a couple more
If you know Droddy Wiggles. Hey.
But honestly, that's how I got my start, doing things like that.
Okay.
But so in college, I was heavily into a lot of different organizations, from SGA to student activities to community service to modeling troops. You named it, I did it, you know?
Wow.
And at the time, my senior year of college, Kendrick Lamar had just dropped Section 80. Everybody was like really on him. Well, not everybody, but if you were hip, if you were in the know, you know. You know what I'm saying?
And you know we know out here because
always
he's special to us in the band with the Warrior connections. Let them know.
I've always liked that. Since I first met you, that was like your word. That was like your everything.
That's my thing. It's the brand.
Like, the brand is deep. Like,
it's deep.
crazy.
Yeah, it's deeply rooted at this point. But yeah, it was like, if you know, you know. And at the time, my university, they didn't see the value in Kendrick Lamar because he wasn't like, at the time, I think Ace Hood was popping.
Yeah. I bet they heard themselves now.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that girl had the vision.
Ace Hood is popping and they're like, we'll only allow you to get him, Kendrick Lamar, if you also bring Ace Hood out. It was Homecoming. So I'm like, okay, well, one, I already knew Kendrick wasn't gonna like expand my budget because he was just getting hot.
Right.
But I knew he had never been in North Carolina at the time. And a lot of people don't know, but Ninth Wonder used to be a professor on my university.
What?
Yeah, he used to.
Yeah.
I have a great relationship. Oh, yeah, we can drink the Ninth Wonder shit.
That's huge. You just dropped the bomb. Like, what?
So, yeah, I have a great relationship with Ninth Wonder and the whole Jamla Records, Rhapsody, all of them. Actually, King Giraffe, shout out to all of them, Swing, all of y'all. So yeah, Ninth Wonder was a professor on my campus. So he was teaching like this music production class and things like that. And Ninth and Kendrick Lamar actually had a great relationship.
Wow.
So I was like, all right, well, if I'm not going to have to, really max out my budget, whatever. I don't care what y'all want to do.
Yeah. Give him a 30-minute slide. Fuck it.
But let me bring him. Just let me bring him. They did not even promote the concert.
Wow.
And I bet it was still cracking.
They did not know. No? It flopped. It flopped.
Was that your first? Was that the first L you took in that space?
Not really. The school, because I knew that it didn't get marketed because of the fact that my higher ups didn't believe in what I was already doing.
They didn't get the money right.
But they learned a valuable lesson on Twitter at that time that was just really hot. Because mad people kept tweeting like, NCCU had Kendrick Lamar. Like, why no one knew? We would have drove. We're talking people that live 4 or 5 hours away. Would have been like, yo, we would have packed it out. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? So they learned a lesson during that time because Twitter was going crazy on them about not listening to me because they were too busy trying to like, they was trying to be the man. Yeah,
They was like,
the man was trying to get me and hold me down.
Yeah. People be learning the hard way through Twitter, man.
Yeah, but that tells me a lot about you because a lot of people would have thrown in the towel at that point.
No. That wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
I already knew when I had took on a position what I was really trying to I knew what I was trying to get done. Mm-hmm. And then also at the time, my university is known for that. We're known for bringing people prior to the year that they're hot. So our rivals are NC A&T. Everybody knows about A&T.
Y'all got that ear, huh?
Wow. So it's like, if everybody knows about A&T, who actually has a budget that can handle an artist when they're hot, it's like they always end up getting our leftovers. When Trey Songz first got hot, he came to my school first. He actually is really good friends with a dude that used to go to my school. Lil Wayne when he first got hot. Drake when he first got hot came on my yard. J. Cole before he got hot. Like, that's just how our school was. So it was like, it was unfortunate. It was like I kept into the tradition, not understanding that a part of that tradition was a whole lot of adversity at the same time.
Right. And at this point, you still working? You are at ABC?
At that time, I wasn't with ABC no more. I had got that internship and transitioned. So I learned it a hard way. In high school, you learn about television broadcasting. You learn the 3-camera setups, the whole panning out and all of that. You learn all the things that you need to learn, right? But when you actually get in the field when it comes to like news and stuff like that, you realize it's mad depressing. Like in my actual adult life, I don't watch the news.
Oh, yeah.
All you're going to hear about somebody getting killed, which you can't afford, and how fucked up shit is.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
they don't have feel-good stories.
Like, whatever agenda they want to push. Or it's like too fluffy. It's like someone's 98th birthday or something like that.
It's called fear tactics. I've been telling all you people out there, all you sellers and buyers,
I just can't.
They lying to you.
I just can't. So doing that internship, I learned like I'm a very positive person. So it just wasn't working for me. But once we actually transitioned to me doing the homecoming concert, I had just started working for Radio 1 Raleigh.
Okay.
And being an intern there. Shout out to Brian Dawson, who first brought me under his wing. He's one of our like resident known DJs, like how everybody know Big Von, they know my man Brian Dawson. So yeah, he brought me under his wing over there. I worked my way up from being an intern to working in the marketing to actually having commercials voice by the time I graduated.
Ooh, to come up.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna get a job though, but it didn't work out when I first graduated.
Were you just putting all this energy out into all these things, like hoping one of them would catch? Was that the goal?
For sure. Because all right, so some people know, but not everybody knows. I have a bachelor's in criminal justice.
Wow.
You know, I have a minor in mass communication. So I was just
this is a real Jill of all trades right here.
Yeah, so honestly, you got to go through everything. You know, you got to try everything out. And when I first went to college, I just wanted to get a job when I graduated, like everybody else. I wasn't thinking that you actually go to college and find yourself and your passion.
Everything here.
Yeah, like, you know, most in the South, you think go to college, find a husband, get married.
I'm out here on the team line.
On the drum line.
Come on, man.
And just keep living life.
I'm telling you, man. My folks, they from the South. I've been out to Mississippi and New Orleans. That shit is serious. Football, they do that shit on a way grand scale. You can never ever imagine being here. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly. And we got, you know, all the top universities that's in North Carolina, NC State, UNC, Duke. So it's like, when it comes to stuff, you really just think ballers, okay? Big Carolina ballers. So yeah, for me, I was just like, it was weird. So my life has literally been manifested for me.
It sounds like it.
So I'll tell y'all, I did the television broadcasting in high school. Our newspaper, our city newspaper, is called the News and Observer, came to interview my high school class one day. And in it, I told them like, yeah, I'm about to go to college. I'm about to major in criminal justice. And if I got some extra time, maybe I might minor in mass comm.
I know you got that clip. I know you got it somewhere.
I have the news clip.
We need that.
That's what's up. Yeah, definitely.
Tony can make that work for sure.
So, I mean, obviously, you're a firm believer, right?
I am.
We got to say that in the camera. I believe it, too.
I'm a firm believer. Okay. I didn't know it was going to happen like that until, of course, like my sophomore year of college. I'm there. They're like, yeah, well, once you actually finish your major and your concentration, you'll still need more credits to graduate. And I'm like, well, I might as well do something I really like.
I do all this shit and I need more.
Exactly. I was like, damn,
fuck that shit.
Why can't this be done? Like, let me just get out of here.
You was done with your major, but they're like, nope, but not yet. There's still more.
Still got more shit to do.
He said to Matomo, no.
So yeah, I ended up doing mass comm, and luckily the good thing about minoring in the mass comm department at the time was I didn't have to take all the English classes.
Right.
Like that people that majored in it.
Winston, what did you say?
I literally went straight into the things that I wanted to do. So it's the PR classes, it's the video production classes, the audio production classes.
All the stuff that you actually wanted to learn.
Things that you really wanted to learn.
Like, they was trying to give me bread and I want the meat potatoes.
Yeah, literally. For real. I was like, I'm able to do the things that I actually want to do in these classes.
That's what's up.
And most of my opportunities just started to come out of nowhere. Like, the radio was more so just me being seen all the time, hosting stuff all the time, being around, and also just having good relationships.
Having that ear too,
where it was just like, okay, yeah, let's bring you in. So when I interned at the radio station, they had me in marketing at first, and I let my voice be heard, and
beautiful voice.
I think to this day they still play like one of my commercials. It's crazy.
I need
I'm
that.
like, that's 10 years ago.
Hey, wait a minute.
That's
Can
crazy.
my girl get them royalties?
Yeah,
We
you feel
charge 0.3% for that one. You know, you got a really unique voice.
I know. I wish I could hear it for real. It's like, no. But yeah,
It's the worst. You
And
that was just
everyone
the
hears
start.
their own voice differently.
Yeah.
Well, like, Mike, what are you gotta get it up there?
I used to hate hearing myself on the radio because of that.
Man,
And this is like your junior,
Yeah.
senior year where you're running with all this, because at some point you graduated.
She on the
Did
right
you already
tip.
have New York lined up, or did you say I'm going to New York
That's
and this I'm
another
gonna make
story.
happen?
Okay, so I graduate, right? I'm on the radio. I'm thinking I'm gonna get a job at the radio station. That just makes sense.
Yeah.
right?
Nah, that ain't work out like that. So I graduated May 12, 2012. My mom's birthday is June 8th. She's a Gemini.
Happy belated mom.
My mom is from New York. So, of course, we go to New York to go celebrate her birthday. Right. Just so happens, one of my advisors that worked with student activities, she said that she went to Spelman. She had a friend that went to Morehouse, who was currently working at Sony Music. Mm-hmm. She told him that she felt like, you know, I might be a good intern, this, that, and the third, and to like just chop it up. Ooh. So when she tells me this is like March, April, right before I'm about to graduate. So I get his contact, tell him I'll reach out. You know, he's like, whenever you in New York, reach out. My mom decides she wants to go to New York for her birthday. So I'm like, yo, I'm about to be in New York. You know, can we set up a meeting? He set up a meeting.
Nice.
He stepped out for like a couple minutes while we were like meeting with each other. I started rearranging his desk, organizing files and stuff like that.
Right now,
What? He came back in. He said, "So you coming back tomorrow?"
Right. You got the
I said, "Yeah, I'm here."
Damn, that was pretty bold. What if he came back like, what the fuck? Where's my shit?
Where's my contact?
You know, I used to work at
OCD like that.
I used to work at a law firm, and some attorneys, we had this one, like they call him the absent-minded professor because like his shit would be all over, but he knew exactly where every file was.
Some people do got a method to their madness. I'm like that for real.
Well, it worked out for you. Exactly.
It really did. I wasn't prepared though because of course I had packed for the weekend.
Yeah.
You know, but of course being a female, I overpacked, so I had a good amount of clothes.
There you go.
But yeah, I ended up going to New York for a weekend to never go back.
It kind of seems though like your whole timeline, you know, like you don't care if you got to start at the very bottom. You always seem to elevate and work your way up in every situation.
I learned over time it's all about the journey. I mean, of course, when you're going through that journey, my younger self could never understand that. Never understand that. Like even working at Sony, like and interning after college, like I had some adversities that hit me literally right after that, where I went through a journey that took me 3 years to get back on radio, to actually even land my first real radio job.
Wow. At the New Pulse?
Yeah. So it's like, those things, now the adult me just says it was a part of the journey. The back then me was saying, Lord, you hate me?
Why are you doing it? What did I do?
Why did you do this? Like,
it takes perspective. Right?
It does. Yeah. It most definitely does. And then, you know, you have your full circle moments that come back around and you like, oh, it makes sense. Because that same man whose desk I reorganized, let's say 8 years later, he's the head of music licensing at Empire.
Boom.
He's the reason why I ended up in the Bay.
There you go.
It's like
full circle.
Let's take it full circle
that
from
destiny.
There. So, you know, you're booming out there. Like, what was the leap from leaving the East Coast, which is predominantly like the epicenter for rappers, models, fashion, I mean, like you say, radio, tech, everything else out there, you know what I mean? Like, why would you want to come to the Bay Area where it's kind of like we're known for having this like shadow?
Because it was different. It was very different. And it wasn't something I was used to. Just like you said, on the East Coast, like I told you, I've lived everywhere. So I could have gone to New York and lived a whole regular life where it was comfortable with family. Mm-hmm. I could have moved to Atlanta, same thing, comfortable, family, everything that I needed. So it was like, I felt like I conquered the East Coast in a sense.
There you go.
I had been there, done that.
Well, I like that.
I wanted to do something different. And at the time, I was a radio personality at the New Pulse FM, which is a top 40 station. So it's like the wild. Right. So I'm one of the only black faces on a pop radio station at that. I was already doing something different than people expected me to do because everybody expected me to be on the urban station that I had interned for when I was in college.
Dope, right?
You know what I'm saying? So I had already I literally felt like I had hit a ceiling. Also at that time, I had already launched my website. I had already started doing like artist interviews. I had already had like all the biggest artist interviews of anybody that was close to me. So it was like, I wanted to go somewhere and feel completely uncomfortable. I don't know nobody here. And I mean, not no one here, you know, and try something else. And also I had already had it up in my mind I was going to work at Empire.
Wow.
Oh.
That's literally why I made the leap.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I made the leap in 2018 because I said, once I get there, I'm going to end up working there. If anybody know about anything about radio, you're more famous than rich. So I'm still living at my mama's house. I'm still
say that part again. They have nigga. I'm like, man, I got a little something I'm got going over here. Hey, cuz, one of them cuz like, hey, cuz, I need to borrow some bill money. I'm like, nigga, I am not rich. Nigga.
Not rich.
Like, oh, you be hanging out. I'm like, nigga, I hang out with them, but I ain't getting paid like that.
You might hear me on your radio station every single day, but I have
ain't
no money.
1099 employee yet, nigga.
Hey, you gotta do a slow-mo on his face, like.
Nah, but that's exactly it. I was like, bro, I'm more famous than rich. And I need to put some money in my pocket. I was getting older. I'm in my like later 20s at the time. And I'm just like, nah, this ain't cute.
But you had your own show, right? The I Know, little digital
okay,
going
so
on.
my no show was doing very well, for sure.
Right.
Let's keep it 100 though, because I mean, you was getting a lot of these artists that were up and coming, like Da Baby and a lot of cats that, you know,
but that
people
was
weren't really recognizing yet.
Relationships. That was literally all relationships. Like me being able to even do my Nipsey Hussle interview. A lot of people don't know. So,
That's
yeah,
why
R.I.P. bro.
That's why I really read the blue, because I knew we was going to talk about
Yeah, we was going to talk about my man.
Yeah.
So the years like what, 2013, 2012, it's like 2013. I'm in Atlanta. And he was doing like a pop-up at a store, at some store in the A. Right. And one of my homies wanted to go to it. It was for Crenshaw, actually. It was a Crenshaw pop-up shop at this Fly Kicks in Atlanta. If anybody know about Fly Kicks. Yeah. I go to the pop-up shop. I meet his right hand, JP, at the time. Shout out to JP. And DJ Drama or whatever. So I had already built like a relationship with JP, made sure that anytime he see me, that I say hi, things like that. So this is like in November. That following January is January 2014. I'll never forget it. They're now on tour for Crenshaw, for the Crenshaw tour. And I remember going to the venue mad early, because that was my thing. Anybody who's been a part of like the blog, like you go to venues mad early to try to figure out if you can get in there, okay?
You gotta
right, so you can get your interview.
Got my media pass. I'm in here.
Okay, and most of the time you lying about that. Okay, you just like you
some
telling
fabrication we
somebody's name to get that media pass or those credentials so you can do whatever you need to do. So I'm there early. I'm watching people hop off the bus. You know what I'm saying? All of that. I was one of the first people to see Nip and Lauren Ellington together too.
Secret.
She was on she was in the tour bus. I knew that they was dating back then because she was on the tour bus. But anyway, so we at the event. I see, we at the concert. I get there mad early. Of course, I'm early. I see JP get off the tour bus. I'm like, yo, can I get this interview with Nip, bro? Like, what's up? He's like, I don't know. Let me see. You gotta talk to Sam. I'm like, Sam, let me get this interview, bro. He was like, all right, let's see how we feeling after the show. I'm like, all right, I can get that. As long as you already in their face, you're gonna get what you need
like
at the end.
You know what I'm saying?
So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try my luck. So as loadout is happening, I'm like, Sam, you told me to hit you after the show. What's up? He's like, all right, let's go. Get on tour bus. First major artist interview ever. And it's one of my favorite interviews to this day. Like,
I met one of your fans when we were in Atlanta. He was like, yo, he got me on some business mind. Like, I'm ready to say the middleman. And I was like, yo, you crack as hell right now. Like, what's going on?
Nah, that's dope to me. You know, that's what I got from like, you know, watching Master P and watching Birdman and watching Jay. I got motivated. I got inspired to be a boss and to be, you know, an entrepreneur outside of being an artist. So to hear that people from our generation looking at us like that, you know what I mean, and being motivated to demand more from themselves and demand more from the game, that's dope, you know, and I feel like that's our goal.
In the No Domo, already over and out. Know that?
Neighborhood Nip, you already know. Shout out to North Carolina.
Love and adore that man Nip, RIP to him.
That's in paradise.
They've been a fan ever since. I most definitely learned a lot of etiquette from that interview too, because I was so excited because it's Nip, you know. I'm a fan. I was cursing like crazy. Like, you would have thought we was outside, like just hanging out. Cause
I'm out here with my nigga Nip.
Like, it was terrible. Like, all that's all I kept thinking of. I was like, yo, I am cursing so
cheers to that
much.
one, though.
Cheers to
Who can
that.
say they break the game with fucking Nip?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
So BET weekend is my favorite weekend of the year, okay? So I knew, of course, like anybody else, like if you want to get out there and get into the media and things like that, this is the weekend that you need to be outside. So for years, I would go to BET weekends, have a great time. It just so happens, I moved to the Bay in 2018. Again, on this hope, wishing, a prayer that I was going to get a job, okay? This was literally all faith. This is all faith. $300, 3 suitcases of faith.
I really, I don't, man, y'all, I don't even go nowhere when I'm broke and I know I'm getting my check next Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? For real. I be hearing these stories, I'm like, God damn, like y'all like, that's shit, give me some lotto numbers. Like, God damn. That's like the ultimate belief in oneself.
Yeah, definitely. For sure, like, now, luckily for me, I'm not, this is for anybody for sure watching this, like, do not make leaps like that if you are not prepared for them. I did move to the Bay with nothing, but I did have a fallback. Shout out to my godmom, Susan. And that's even a story. All right, y'all. Come on, I got stories for days.
Are we tapping in or are we really catching it?
Let's do it. I graduated college 2012. I moved to New York. I'm working at Sony. At the time, I was working with Storm Entertainment, interning and assisting with J. Cole, the creation of J. Cole, the management of J. Cole. Which is why I'm very, very close to that camp as well. But I'm a Carolina girl too, so it just was kind of, it was odd, it was funny and odd at the same time and ironic that that's one of the first campaigns that I worked on or one of the first artists that I was working with because I am a Carolina girl. Him and Miguel,
oh, right on.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I had a situation that occurred in my family that I had to move back to North Carolina, which is also how I started in the know in the beginning. So my brand is In the Know.
Right.
In the Know with Domo. My website is iknowdomo.com because intheknow.com just didn't work out, you know. At that time, I'm still looking for radio jobs. So I'm applying at all these different radio stations. I'm going to interviews in Baltimore, this place, that place. And in 2014, I had an interview at KMEL and at the Wild. So at the time, I had a friend, loosely on friend. I had a friend that lived in the Bay. She was working out here or something like that. So I was like, hey, if you don't mind, I got 2 job interviews. You know, we talking about somebody who was always at my house.
It's time for me to cash out those couches.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay.
Guy on the couch.
So I come out here on like a Monday. I think my interview was like on Friday. On Wednesday, I'm told I need to find somewhere else to stay. Just so happens, I had one other ally. My bro, DJ Banks. He was like a younger bro that kind of like attached to me when we were in college. But he was a DJ at the time out here. And he was an Adidas sponsored DJ. So he's spinning.
Adidas like, cut them checks.
Yeah, like he was outside, like really outside. And the person that was like he was living with was also managing him. So I asked him, I'm like, yo, bro, can you see if I can stay at your house? Like, if it's okay. He didn't feel comfortable asking her. I found her Instagram. I asked her. I asked her. I'm like, because on a woman to woman type of basis, we a little different.
Yeah, y'all can, you know
what I'm saying? We connect in a different way. So I like laid it all out for her. I'm like, yo, I got 2 job interviews. I just need somewhere to stay. Like, I'll throw you some money for your couch. Just like, let me stay. She said, where you at? I'll come pick you up right now.
Hey, that's
what's up. Real one.
That's a real one.
That lady's been in my life since.
That's what's up.
Ever since. Okay? Ever since. I just went to Dubai. She kept my dog. Okay?
Hey.
Like, that's his grandma. Like, for real. Like, that woman.
That's what's up. And
I never understood why I met her, right? I'm in 2013. I'm sitting here like, damn, I met her because I'm about to get these jobs. Nah, I ain't get the jobs, unfortunately. It's weird because KMEL asked me as a Black woman, what did I bring to the table in a Latino and Asian community? But we ain't going to talk about that.
We ain't going to talk about it.
Yeah, we don't listen to KMEL that much these days.
I'm cool with my mans. Y'all know who I'm cool with. Y'all my
real beef over there right now if you don't know.
I just didn't understand as a Black woman that on listening to an urban station that you asked me, what do I bring to the table?
That's out of pocket.
But it was cool. I didn't get the job. I wasn't tripping. I just didn't understand why I came all the way out here. And I came out here was because I was supposed to meet her. Because if I never met her, when I decided to make the leap to go and work at Empire, even though I didn't have no Empire job, I would have never been able to make that leap.
Wow.
See what I'm saying?
There you go.
Man,
So that was your fallback that you were talking about.
Stars aligned.
There you go.
For real.
Things just happen.
That's beautiful.
Everything happens
kind of
for
way.
a reason. Yeah.
Now we can refill.
Intermission.